So this lesson is going to go over how to solve and check equations. And we'll start with a two-step problem just so we get these things down. And I'll show you exactly how really every problem should go and be lined up. So here we go. We'll start with number 1. Let's say negative 3x plus 22 equals 1. Okay. So your goal is to isolate the variable, meaning get the variable by itself. And the way to get it by itself is to use inverse operations to kind of get rid of the things near it, but keep the equation balanced. So what do I mean? So here is the x. It's got a times negative 3 with it and a plus 22. So to unravel this, you actually go reverse PEMDAS, which is SADMEP. So you want to get rid of this plus 22 first. So what's the inverse or the opposite of adding 22? It's subtracting 22. And now whatever you do to one side of the equation, you can kind of picture, dots down the middle, almost like, a balance beam. If you take 22 off of this side, you have to do the same thing over here to keep it balanced. Okay? So on the left-hand side, these cancel out to be 0, right? That's what we wanted. We're left with negative 3x. Try to line your equal sign right below the other equal sign. Do this math. 1 minus 22 is negative 21. Now we've got negative 3 times x. So what's the inverse of multiplying by negative 3, dividing by negative 3? And we're going to show the division using a division bar. That shows you're dividing the entire side of the problem by that number. And again, whatever you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other to keep it balanced. Now, what's really happening here? You have a negative 3 divided by a negative 3. That's really 1. And what's 1 times x? Just x. So there you go. You isolated the variable. Over here, what's a negative 21 divided by a negative 3? A positive 7. So that's what we think our answer is. We think x is equal to to positive 7. And now we get to check it. Whenever you do the check, you're going to label the check. You can write out the word check or CK. Those are your only options. Then you are going to copy the original problem. Always the original problem, because if you go further down and you made a mistake over here, you would be checking in your own mistake. You don't want to do that. You want to check in the original problem. All right, so after you copy the original problem, you're going to sub in your answer. So we think x is 7. We're going to sub it in the right spot. And we're kind of asking ourselves, is this going to work? So I like to put a question mark over that first line, or the second one, I guess. Now you do normal PEMDAS, normal math. You're trying to chip away and see if this side actually equals 1. So negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. Is this actually going to work? Make sure you actually do the math. Don't just, fake yourself out here. Negative 21 and 22, yeah, that works. So these actually are equal. Favorite part, put the check mark, and there you go. And again, notice the equal sign is lined up. Equal sign is lined up. Okay, try to keep your work organized. So that's the two-step. Now, your homework tonight is going to combine combining like terms and solving and checking. So you might have to combine like terms first. So how should I say this? If there's more than 2 terms, combine like terms first, then solve. Okay, now I'm kind of making this a rule. You could technically start solving, but it just gets messier if you don't combine the like terms first. So I think this is a good strategy for us to do. We'll call this number 2. So let's say the problem was negative 8x plus 3 minus x equals 84. Okay, so see on the left-hand side here, and if these dots help you, go ahead. If they don't worry about it. On the left-hand side, you have three different terms. We can get some of them together, right? We can get the negative 8x together with this negative 1x. So negative 8 and a negative 1, that's negative 9x. Don't lose the plus 3. And now this problem is just like the problem above, right? We're going to try to chip away and get x by itself here. So I'm going to subtract the 3. And I have negative 9x equals 84 minus 3 is 81. And now look at the variable. My eyes always go to the variable. If I had a flashlight, I'd be shining it right here. So now what's with the variable? A times negative 9. Let's get rid of that, do the opposite. We're going to divide by negative 9. 81 divided by negative 9 should be negative 9. So we think our answer is negative 9. Let's check. Check, please. Copy the original problem. So not where we combined, we're copying the original problem. Okay? Sub in our answer everywhere there's an x. So we think x is negative 9. So where I see an x, ooh, careful here, I'm going to put in a negative 9. Watch out. So you need this minus, and you're subbing in a negative. You could put parentheses if it helps you. You don't need them. You could put those. Okay. Looks blurry. No? Okay. All right, now let's do this. Negative 8 times negative 9 is positive 72. I'm going to change this. Minus a negative, that's the same as plus. Does this work? Does this work? 72 and 3 is 75. Is that going to work? 75 plus 9? Yes, it is. Boom. And there we go. Check. Okay, try one like that on your own here. I'll write it down and we can pause. Okay, so let's say it's 9x plus 42 minus 2x equals negative 42. All right, we'll pause and you guys can try this one. All right, unpause. 9x minus 2x is 7x. Looking at the x, I'm going to subtract the 42, right? Doing the opposite. Oh, watch out. Negative 42 minus 42. That's actually negative 84, right? Do it on the side. Negative 42 minus 42. Keep change. Yeah. Okay, now divide by a positive 7. Negative 84 divided by positive 7 is going to be negative 1, 2, negative 12. All right, check please. Copy the original problem. Sub in your answer. And then see if this works. 9 times negative 12, negative 108. I'm looking at this as negative 2 times negative 12. That's actually a positive 24. Negative 108 and 42, I'm really subtracting. I get a negative 66. Again, signs are different. I'm subtracting. Does that actually work? Yes, it does. Oh, I forgot the question marks. Check. Okay. Why that side looks kind of blurry to me. Sorry if it's blurry. I'm hitting a focus button. That's better now that we're done with it. Okay, and then let's do one where we're going to have to distribute. This is actually fun. I mean, these are some of my favorite things. So what are we up to? Number 4. Okay. So the problem would be 2 times n plus 8 equals 22. Okay, so see, the thing here is the variable stuck in these parentheses. You can't subtract 8 because that's not, you know, acting to the whole side here. That's not going to really do much. We have to break it out first by distributing. So 2 times n, 2n, 2 times 8, 16, and then you're able to go from there. All right, so subtract the 16. 22 minus 16 is 6. You're going to divide by 2. And we think the answer is positive 3. All right, check please. Copy the original problem. Sub in your answer. Now, in the check, you want to make sure your math was correct. Don't distribute. Okay, if I gave you just this problem, this left-hand side here, you wouldn't distribute the 2 when there's numbers in here, right? You would do PEMDAS. You would do 3 plus 8 is 11. So that's what you should do. You know, you're checking your work in a different way. It's kind of even better that way. And this should still work out. 2 times 11, yes it does. 22. Okay, so distribute in the solve. In the check though, it's just normal PEMDAS. Okay, now if you distribute, should it work? Yes. So it's not a huge deal, but when we get more negatives in here, things get a little trickier. It's better to do PEMDAS and check it that other way. All right? All right, good job, guys. If there's time, I'm going to throw one more down here. Let's say negative 2 times x plus 3, minus another x equals 0. Well, this could be fun. We'll pause and you guys can try it. And we're back. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times 3, negative 6. Oh boy. I'm going to go one step further, right? And I'm going to now combine like terms. A negative 2x minus another x would be negative 3x. Now go from here, okay? Opposite of subtracting 6 is adding 6. 0 plus 6 is 6. I got that. Now we're going to divide by negative 3. And we think our answer is negative 2. Isn't it great that we get to check? All right, so copy the original problem. Sub in your answer. So, here again, watch out. Bring down this subtraction, and you're subbing in a negative 2. Is this going to work? PEMDAS. Negative 2 plus 3 is a positive 1. Here again, minus a negative, that's the same as adding. Is this going to work? Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Yeah, negative 2 plus 2, 0. Nice. All right, good job, guys.